I'm back on the boat. We're going to fit the anchor plate today. Finally. Check if everything is lined up right. Jochem is with me. So, we're all back from vacation. First thing. Mark is here to help us a little bit, so we're going to get the anchor plate out of the trailer onto the boat, but that thing is heavy. Hier moet er nog één in, ik moet nog één bout hebben. Ik pak even ja. Kijk. Wel, hè? Draai er eens heen, dan weet ik waar je bent. Yo! Volgende.
Maar die rand mag toch wel even stevig worden.
There goes Mark. Bye Mark. Alright, it's on, finally. So, we already fitted it, of course. Only not the bowsprit. It fits like a glove. Now, I only need to install the anchor winch, or the windlass. And I got a chain and the anchor. Hello boys and girls. I'm back at the boat. Today I'm going to finish the welding on my anchor plate, and hopefully I got enough time to do some paint work as well. But we have to start with welding. And I just bought this welder. It's been a real long time for me that I welded in the first place, so I hope this goes well. So that's going quite well. So I did one side, and crazy enough I'm welding on solar power. So that's mind-boggling for me. But I think it's a little bit too much for the converter. So I'm going to start a generator because I don't want to mess up my batteries and my converter. And I know I think from the comments, if it's getting used too heavy, that you can mess up everything. Anywho, start a generator and continue. So the welding is done. I didn't film it because I was afraid that the sparks hit my lens and I don't want to mess up my lens. So this is the end result. You saw me welding a little bit, so I think that's enough. So I'm removing the rollers now and make sure all the steel is in primer. And after that I'm going to paint it black, just like the sides of the ship. Willem, the old fisherman and old captain of this boat, gave me the black paint that is on the sides of the bulwarks. So I was really happy with that, but I think it's too old because it's completely solid. However, I know what it is. I know the color code of this stuff, so I can get new stuff. But it's nice weather now, but it can change in an instant in Holland. So I'm going to put paint on it anyway, and it will be the blue paint that's on the side of the ship. I don't want it blue, but for now I'm going to use the blue, and after a while I will cover it with black paint because it suits the rest of the boat. So everything has dried for about 2 hours. So I start painting. I've been painting on the wheelhouse a little bit. So now I'm going to paint this.
You know what to do. Where do we go from here? Don't let it fool you.
I don't know how long the camera rolled before the battery died, but that is what happened. So maybe you saw everything, maybe you saw 1 second. This is the result. It's not looking bad. I don't know if it stays this way. No, I think I make it black. Okay, what can I do now? I am back. Today I'm going to work on my anchor because it's old and rusty. Old doesn't matter because it's still a strong, heavy anchor. But rust on my new painted boat is not an option. So I already did this side. It works perfectly. Now I'm going to remove all the rust on the other side and then paint it. More paint work. Let's go. All the rust is gone. So you can see that I already sprayed this piece and this is still bare steel. Same as the other side. I already did the underneath the anchor because it was laying on its side, so I did it then. So now I'm going to spray everything, and I think that in the time lapse you can see it turn black, and that is the rust deformer doing its work. I did 2 layers. It's still wet, so I leave this dry for about an hour, and after that paint. And it's going to be, leave in the comment what you think the color is going to be. It's now 1.5 hours later. I've been drumming a little bit. I'm a drummer. So the anchor is dry now, so I can paint it. Paint is over there. Color is black. It's the same color that will be on the outside of the hull. The hull of the ship. Hull. Anyway, this will be black. It's almost black already, but it will be more black. And I only got a roller and nothing more, because everything is on the boat. So this will have to do. I can do a first and a second layer, and later I'm doing the difficult to reach parts with a brush. So, first coat of black is on, and it was really hard to see where I was painting because the rust deformer did its job really well, because the whole anchor turned black already, and that's a sign that the rust deformer is doing its work, because it turns rust in something else. I don't know. But when it does so, the rust turns black. It's already dry to the touch. Unbelievable, because I've been working on this for 10 minutes now and it's already dry. But I leave it for half an hour, then I do a second coat and maybe a third coat as well, because it's an anchor. Let's smack some coats on this. Happy! It's the next day. I'm back in my workshop. It's a ginormous mess here. All my navigation stuff is lying on the table because Jochem and ik are trying something in another episode, but we're working on it. However, today I'm going to make sure that everything on the Windlass works, because I'm going to install it, bring the anchor to the ship, make sure everything works, and then we got a working anchor. I ordered the official components, the remote and the solenoid for this particular Windlass, and I'm going to try if it works. Of course it works, but I'm going to see how it works and how to connect everything. Okay, let's start with this box. I already opened it yesterday. So this is the remote with the remote holder. The remote holder. So that's the remote. On the end of the remote there's a plug. This goes into the anchor plate, and then when you need it you can plug it in and let it work. This is the solenoid, and here how you use it. Easy peasy. It looks easy at least. Good morning. It's the next day now. I got the windlass working. I got a temporary setup here that I'm going to make more permanently. But first, something else. Yesterday I received this swivel. I think the name is a swivel. And this is to connect my anchor to my anchor chain. And I fitted it yesterday and it barely fits. It's a little bit too tight. So I'm going to grind a little bit of material off my anchor so that this will fit a little bit better. And then I have to paint it again and do all the stuff. Later today, Jochem is here and then we're going to pack everything, bring our tools, get the windlass in the fan, the batteries and the anchor, and then I hope to have an anchor on my boat finally for a long time. Alright, we're back on the boat. Anchor plate over there. Last minute I found out that there was something wrong with the windlass. Telling you later. So first we're going to fix that and then bolt it back on the anchor plate. Alright, let's go. Okay, so what I had to do, I found some oil underneath the windlass. So I had to replace the oil seal. It's over here. So I just did that. Now I'm going to put back the motor on it and then install it on the anchor plate. Hi Jochem.
Hi.
Ja, echt belachelijk. Holding our hand for the microphone because it's windy. So I am stupid because I bolted or we bolted the windlass onto the anchor plate. My idea, but I forgot to drill an extra hole for the wiring. And I got something cool. So we're going to unbolt this thing again and then we're going to drill the extra hole, and I got a super cool tool for that because of you guys. So one of you guys mentioned to buy a magnetic drill. So this is the electromagnet. Here's the drill, and I thought that's a good idea. So here it is. It's already stuck to the plate. Going to drill a hole here to feed the wires for the 24 volts. So I'm curious how it works. Let's go. Wow, this is going to make my life so much easier. So for the guy or girl
Razor.
who mentioned it, thank you so much. This was a good idea. So we got this working and it's working well. I just connected everything to see if everything works and if this windlass will lift my anchor. And if my bowsprit, it's not a bowsprit, someone in the comments commented about that, but for now it's a bowsprit. I'm sorry. So we're going to connect the anchor and just try to lift up the anchor. Now I have to catch my breath. The anchor is a little bit heavy, however. Now we're going to connect the swivel. I think this is called a swivel, and if I'm not right, it will appear somewhere in the screen what the name is. For now it's a swivel. So let's connect this to the anchor and the anchor chain, and then the moment of truth.
Will she lift the anchor? Oh, hoist the anchor.
Hoist the anchor, ja.
Wil je dat ik hem vang of juist niet?
Nee, hier vanaf je krijgt hem wel te pakken hoor. Ja. Dat is vrij zwaar, dat je er even op rekent.
Gaat het? Ja, nou is het goed. Nou is het goed. Hij draait. Ja. So, what's your thoughts?
I'm glad it works, but I think it looks ugly. Real ugly. Not the most beautiful creation I've ever made. But for now it works, and I have to think about this. It works. So I'm glad that it works. I'm really curious what you guys have to say about this. Do you like it? Don't you like it? What can I do better? What are your thoughts? So we got a working windlass. I'm really happy that it works. I'm not so happy with how it looks, but that doesn't matter. That's for later. We're going to clean up and go home. If you like this video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and then I hope to see you next Monday. Later.